Hello, I'm Camelia. You're watching KiniNews. Racial and religious issues have been dominating headlines recently. Some of you may be asking, where are we heading? To alleviate fears, the Prime Minister sent a clear message today. Potential troublemakers, you've been warned. Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim said there will be zero tolerance towards any attempts to incite racial or religious sentiments in the country.
Jadi saya ingin tegaskan dan Kabinet bersama dalam hal ini untuk memastikan bahawa keamanan, perdamaian semua kaum dipertahankan dan tidak akan bertolak ansur sedikit pun terhadap mana usaha-usaha yang akan mengganggu-gugat keselamatan negara. Terima kasih.
Anwar said this at a press conference after the cabinet meeting today. He said he has also instructed security forces to keep an eye out for those who are desperate or slighted, who may exploit sentiments and pay people to cause chaos. Anwar's warning comes in the wake of several incidents over the past month that saw heightened racial and religious tensions. Among them was the Jom Ziarah program, which involves youth visiting houses of worship as part of Impact Malaysia's efforts to increase awareness of the country's diverse society. The initiative drew the ire of certain quarters who accuse it of Christian evangelism, as one of the upcoming lineups of the program is a visit to a church in Klang. Impact Malaysia, an agency under the Youth and Sports Ministry, has since denied the claims of evangelism. Youth and Sports Minister Hannah Yoh has also weighed in on the matter, quoting precedents set by past leaders about Muslims visiting non-Muslim places of worship. She also stressed that no Muslim youths have been involved in the program. Lim Lip Eng was in the courtroom today where things got hot between his lawyer and the prosecution. The courtroom heated up today during Lim Lip Eng's corruption trial linked to the island state's 6.3 billion ringgit undersea tunnel project. Friction was apparent between lead Deputy Public Prosecutor Wan Shaharuddin Wan Ladin and lead Defence Counsel Gobind Singh Dio during the proceedings before the Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court. The air between the two veterans heated up further after trial judge Azura Alwi dismissed the prosecution's preliminary objection. The objection was against the defence's application for notes of proceedings from the Shah Alam Sessions Court. The Shah Alam Sessions Court case involved the allegation that businessperson G. Ganaraja duped the senior executive director of Consortium Zenith Construction, Zarul Ahmad Muhammad Zulkifli, for the project. However, in December 2020, Ganaraja pleaded guilty to an alternative charge under Section 218(1)A of the Companies Act 2016 and was fined 230,000 ringgit. Both Zarul and Ganaraja are now prosecution witnesses against Lim in the undersea tunnel graft trial. The defense team contends it needs the notes of proceedings to strengthen Lim's defense against the undersea tunnel graft case. Wan Shaharuddin informed the court that the prosecution team is ready to proceed with the hearing of the merits of the defense's bid to obtain the Shah Alam court notes of proceedings. However, Gobind then claimed that the prosecution team indicated the opposite earlier in the day about not being ready to proceed with hearing the merits of the application. Azura then adjourned proceedings for today and set March 23rd to hear the merits of the notes of proceedings application. Lim is on trial over 4 graft charges. The Kedah MD is being sued by Anwar Ibrahim for defamation. Now the past leader is using justification, qualified privilege, and fair comment as his defense.
Kedah Menteri Besar Muhammad Sanusi Noor contended that his G15 campaign speech was based on public records, namely Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim's Sodomy 1 case and other moral-related matters. Sanusi said this in his statement of defense against Tambun MP Anwar's defamation suit. The past state chief said that he is ready to prove in court the contents of his speech by referring to the 2004 federal court remark about the plaintiff's sodomy matter, among other matters widely known by the general public. According to the court filing, Sanusi cited the defences of justification, qualified privilege, and fair comment. Justification is a defense that the statements or allegations are factual, and if proven successful in court, these would act as an absolute defense against the defamation action. Qualified privilege is a defense that applies in a situation where the words were issued by a person who has an interest or a legal, social, or moral duty to do so. Meanwhile, fair comment is where the impugned statement was made as a fair comment rather than a statement of fact over an issue. Anwar's civil action is over Sanusi's speech allegedly containing an out-of-akhlaq remark in the Tambun parliamentary constituency on November 13th last year. Defendant Sanusi claimed that among these facts were that Anwar was expelled from the Dr. Mahathir Mohamad cabinet in the 1990s due to moral issues. He also raised the 2004 Federal Court remark by then Chief Justice Abdul Hamid Muhammad, which acquitted plaintiff Anwar in the Sodomy 1 case. In the grounds of judgment, Abdul Hamid said that, quote, there was evidence to confirm that the appellants were involved in homosexual activities, and we are more inclined to believe that the alleged incident in Tivoli Villa did happen sometime. Hamid, however, said that, quote, the court may only convict the appellants if the prosecution has successfully proved the alleged offences, as stated in the charges, beyond reasonable doubt on admissible evidence and in accordance with the established principles of law. Anwar had previously mounted an unsuccessful legal bid to have the Apex Court expunge the remark. Sanusi also made reference to Anwar's conviction for abuse of power and sentencing to 6 years in jail, which the Apex Court upheld in 2002. Sanusi added that Anwar misunderstood the context of the former's speech, as it was not done out of malice to defame in front of a public audience, but merely to critique the latter based on the widely known facts. The civil action is set to come up for case management before the Alor High Court on Monday next week.
A DAP lawmaker could lose his seat in Parliament if he does not pay his fine in time. Now he's seeking help from the public. DAP's Kapong MP Lim Lip Eng launched a fundraising campaign today to pay 2.25 million ringgit in damages to e-commerce firm Monspace Sendirian Berhad and its founder Jesse Lai. This comes after the lawmaker lost the defamation suit against him yesterday. He now risks being declared bankrupt and disqualified as a member of parliament if he cannot pay the fine on time. Lim said he has to fork out the amount within 7 days of receiving the court order, which is expected to be sent to him next week. Unlike criminal cases, Lim has to pay the damages before the decision on his appeal against this civil defamation suit is announced. At a press conference held at his service center in Kapong today, Lim explained that he had provided voluntary assistance to many victims of money games over the past few years. And he was involved in this defamation case with Monspace and Jesse Lai after helping a group of help seekers in 2016. The bank account details can be viewed on Lim's Facebook. Lim also had something to say about TV3's move to blur certain parts of the Oscars ceremony. The MP said the move was uncalled for. So what did the TV station blur? Let's see. TV3's decision to blur the attire worn by actresses at the Oscars ceremony has been criticized by a lawmaker. When asked in a press conference today, Lim said it was unnecessary for TV3 to impose a digital veil on the program.
So why are we, the TV3, not going advance but now going backwards? This is uncalled for.
Lim also pointed out that he has been watching the Oscars on television since he was a student and that in the decades of local broadcasts, there has never been censorship.
So I don't think it's necessary. All this while, for the past, I've been watching Oscars since when I was in school. For decades, our national TV has been broadcasting this Oscar ceremony without any blurring censorship. But why now? The world is supposed to be going advanced.
Malaysia-born actress Michelle Yeoh won the Best Actress Award at the Oscars on March 13th for her role in the film Everything Everywhere All at Once. However, TV3's coverage of the event has triggered a debate among netizens about its censorship of the female presenters. While some netizens called the move embarrassing for the local media, others supported the censorship, citing the news program is watched by all age groups, including children. The COVID-19 pandemic has had a significant impact on household income. Many families who were in the M40 group are now in the B40.
Economy Minister Rafizi Ramli revealed that an estimated 20% of M40 households have been pushed to the B40 group due to COVID-19. Meanwhile, 12.8% of T20 households have been moved down to the M40 group. This is according to a simulation study undertaken by the Statistics Department of Malaysia in 2020 to examine the impact of the pandemic on household income. Rafizi said this in a written parliamentary reply dated March 16th. He was responding to a question from Padang Serai MP Azman Nasruddin. The B40 income group refers to households with the lowest 40% of income, while the M40 are households with the income in the middle 40%. The T20 group are those in the top 20% of household income. Rafizi added that the government is also currently finalizing the findings of the Income Expenditure and Basic Facility Survey 2022. The survey involved 92,000 households and was conducted from January 2022 to December 2022. Rafizi said the income limits for each income group will be updated through this study, which is expected to be published in the middle of this year. He also said the government has undertaken several steps to mitigate the effects of the rising cost of living for the rakyat.
Sundra Raju reached a settlement with the government after he alleged that he suffered false imprisonment, and now he has also withdrawn his suit against the former AG and many others. Former Asian International Arbitration Center Director Sundra Raju has retracted his wrongful prosecution suit against former AG Tommy Thomas and the government. The plaintiff's legal team filed a notice of discontinuance at the Kuala Lumpur High Court on March 8th. According to a copy of the filing made available to the media today, it not only bore the signature of Sundra's lawyer, but also the signature of defendant Thomas's legal team. The notice of discontinuance also bore the signatures of the Attorney General on behalf of the other 12 defendants. The withdrawal of the legal action followed on the heels of a settlement reached between Sundra and the government, on which the terms of the settlement are confidential. On October 15, 2021, Sundra filed a lawsuit against Thomas, the government, MACC, and 10 other defendants. He alleged that he suffered false imprisonment and malicious prosecution, among other allegations. In April 2021, the federal court ruled that Sundra enjoyed immunity over alleged acts committed during his tenure as AIAC director. And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. If you'd like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to MalaysiaKini.com. I'm Kimilia. Thanks for watching.